Hey you guys, my name is Sean and I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia, here to bring you a bonus episode and one that is actually sponsored. Now, if you've been following the channel a long time, you know that I don't really take on sponsorships. I should be better about monetizing my channel, but I really turn them down left and right because I find that a lot of the services are irrelevant to my needs and also for my audience. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you exactly why I said yes to this super app and walk through with you some of the features in this app that might be useful for your plant journey. Now, the app is pretty much free to use, but there are some premium features that will give you benefits. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can claim 3 months free membership on the app. So why Plantingo? The number one reason would be to obviously keep track of our plants. Now, our plants are always growing every single day, but their growth is so minuscule. In fact, I travel quite a fair bit these days, and I only notice their growth spurts when I return from a long trip, or sometimes even their demise, because sometimes even when plants are declining, they don't really show up on a day-to-day basis. So Plantingo is really one way for you to track the progress of your plants, whether they're growing really well or they're spiraling down out of control. And I actually produce a lot of these care and propagation videos showing you exactly the steps and a few months update all in one video, because for me, this kind of journaling really elevates the experience. So for me, photo or video journaling really is one way to celebrate this hobby and one way to experience it in a higher level. The second reason is this is crowdsourcing at its best. So when you upload your data, they actually keep your data and everything. Of course, you can choose to keep it private, but for the most part, I hope that you guys would share it with everyone else from around the world, and this will make us better growers overall. And the third reason is we could check out other people's plants. We can live vicariously through them. For example, a lot of the plants are not readily available in our area, or maybe they're just too expensive. We can actually check out how people are doing with their plants and how these plants perform in those said environments. Now, this is very different from Instagram because usually when you click on social media, you see the best plant photos. The plants are in their peak performance, but you don't really get to see the history of the plant. You don't see the struggle of the plant or what it looks like when the person got it. An app like this really puts into perspective the plant's journey. And for me, the journey is more important than the result. And the fourth reason is a lot of us, before we get a plant, we want to research it. So we would love to look into how people grow their plants. Do they have the right environment to grow the plants? But let's be serious here. A lot of you guys probably click on the plants because you've already bought it on impulse. And also, let's be honest, half of you guys are on the internet looking for help because your plants have one foot in the coffin already. And the fifth reason is there's a lot of powerful features in the app that lets us set reminder to ourselves in the future. We all know we have busy lives these days, so these reminders really come in handy. I have a lot of plants here, and honestly, I cannot input all of them into the app. In fact, I might not even use the app as much as I would like to because I have literally 1,000 pots of plants. So this app is really more suitable for you guys who have maybe 20 to 50 plants in your collection. And believe me, these reminders are going to be super helpful because in our daily lives, we have work, we have groceries, some of us have kids, some of us have problems to deal with. So these reminders really keep our plant chores going and our plants happier. And the next benefit is, I know a lot of us are traveling a lot these days, so we can hand off these apps to our caretakers and they can look at the app and know exactly which plant to water and when. Now, you can also commit to the app on a daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis. It's completely up to you. And if you're not new to the channel, you know that I don't really believe in scheduled watering. That's because I have too many plants in my collection, so I opt to give them very loose potting media and I water all my plants every single day. However, that's not going to work for most of you. I know that we're all built differently as humans, and I know that a lot of you guys thrive on scheduling. So it might be helpful for some of you to put up a schedule on when you want to water certain plants. For example, your ferns and your cacti, they have a varying degree of watering needs. In fact, sometimes consistency is key in the plant's success. And finally, my favorite feature is the built-in light meter. Now, to access the light meter, simply open the app, and then on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a search button, and on the top right-hand corner, you'll see the light meter. And here, it gives you a choice to watch an ad for 30 seconds, or if you're a premium member, you can watch it ad-free. Now, the light meter is important for many reasons. First of all, plants need light. This is their source of food. Believe it or not, fertilizer, nutrients, this is not food for them. So the light that the plant is receiving depends on the species and also your environment, and also how often you water your plant depends heavily on how much light it is getting. And the thing about light is we oftentimes miscalculate how much light a plant is receiving. When we see a plant on a desk or under a shelf, we think that, oh, that looks pretty bright. But the only surefire way to figure out how much light it is getting is, of course, to put your phone over the leaf and see how much light it is actually getting. You can use natural light or you can supplement it with artificial light. I don't believe in specific grow lights for plants. Now, those are probably a little bit better for your plants, but they can cost quite a lot. So I just want to let you know that your average LED light bulbs can also work for the plants. And typically we grow tropical plants such as the ones behind me, and these guys typically like bright indirect light, and that's somewhere between 2,000 to 5,000 lux if you Google it, although I would stretch it to maybe 3,000 to 10,000 lux to keep them happy. And some fatal mistakes that we do is we place our plants under a shelf or somewhere where there's like a ceiling. Just keep in mind that there's no light source coming from up above, and those plants are actually getting less light than we like to think. So the only way to figure out how much light they're getting is really to put your phone over the leaves, and one, you can have the phone face the light source to see the maximum light it receives, but you can also turn it up towards the ceiling or towards the top of the shelf just to get an idea of how dark it actually is. And one of the ways that you can increase light is, of course, to install lights under the shelf or above that leaf, such as the ones that I'm gonna show you now. Okay, so it is a pretty cloudy day, but it is in the middle of the day, so I'm curious to know how much light my wall is getting. The fact that this is probably around 3,000 lux, which is barely enough for them. But if I go into the shade, deeper in, you will see that the light will drop. This is almost like 2,000, maybe even 1,005. So when you have leaves under other leaves, your light is gonna drop. This is only 200 lux. This used to be a painted lady, but it's reverted. So that's getting 500 lux, which is like not enough at all. So sometimes when you have a green wall like this, just play around with your light meter so you can figure out what each plant is getting. And then you might also play around with styling just a bit to make sure that everyone is getting optimal light level. For example, this aglaonema here is getting around 4,005, which is okay, but I would give aglaonemas a little bit more light than this so that they can show their most vibrant colors. Now, in the app, it does recommend you a range of light levels suitable for a plant. For example, when I upload my begonia, it automatically tells me the range, and when I do my light meter over that plant, it does tell me whether I have sufficient light where I have placed the plant or not. Or you can do your own journaling. So for that specific plant in a specific location, you can record how much light it is getting in the broad daylight, and then that might be helpful for other growers in the future and also for your own reference. Now let me show you how the app works. To get started, you add a plant. You can fill in as much data as you're comfortable with. When you upload photos, you can set a date in which the photo was taken and its growth stage or status. The app stores the photos and eventually sorts it out by date automatically, so you can easily see the progress of the plants over time. This frees up data storage on your phones for your family or loved ones, or your adult-only content. Furthermore, you can journal when you last watered, fertilized, repotted, or pest controlled for the plant, while setting a reminder on when you need to repeat any of the process in the future. And the standout feature for this app is that it can be synchronized to your desktop. Simply open any browser and go to the Plantingo website, log in, and voila. For those of us who are data-driven, it really helps provide a bird's-eye view to our plant collection and manage it better. Here's an example of my upload, which is right here, the Alocasia venom. Now I do want to share a bit about the venom. This is given to me by Mason. He's the founder of this interesting mutated plant, and he's based out of South Korea. And he saw me in Bangkok last year, June, and he gave me a corn to bring back. And coincidentally, Plantingo, the developer of this app, Thomas, he's from South Korea as well. So this is a South Korean app, but it is operating on a worldwide basis. So it's kind of interesting to tie the two together. But I actually uploaded this as an example in the app because when I got it, it was just a tiny little corm with nothing on it. And for the next 3 or 4 months, it did nothing. So I was super worried. And then finally it sprouted baby leaves, and then it gave me these like larger mature leaves. Now I did repotted this a few weeks ago, and I was surprised. Not only was it like super root bound, you can see that picture up on my journal, They also produce 7 corms. So I've plotted out the 7 corms separately. So I'll be following up on that on a plant journal in the future. So you can check out that page if you want to see some of the updates that I've done, or you can be part of the movement and start uploading your own plant journey on the app. Now, furthermore, I would like to invite you guys for a live session. Now, Plantingo does have an expert live chat feature on the app, and I'm going to be logging in next week on Sunday, March the 16th, and your time zone is going to be on the screen, and I'm only going to be going on for about an hour. So I would love for you to submit your plant troubleshooting questions with photos and a little bit about the care history. So I'm going to be diagnosing live on YouTube some of your plants. So that's going to be something fun to do next Sunday for me, and also maybe entertaining for you as well. And here's the instruction on how to participate. You can submit your plant troubles with photos and a little bit about the history on the app a couple of hours before the live session, so that when I log on for the live session, I can see these questions come in. And to do that, click on the community tab, and on the top right hand corner there'll be an expert help button, and you can only do the expert live chat feature when you're a premium member. And here's how to claim yours for free for 3 months. And on the home screen, click on the profile on the top right corner, select settings, promotion and gift, and then enter the promo code OnlyPlants. It will take them about 2 to 3 days to approve your free premium member, so you should do it now. And I really want to extend my gratitude to Plantingo for not only approaching me, but for developing this super app that will hopefully benefit a lot of us plant lovers and elevate our plant journeys. I hope that this episode brings some well-deserved traffic to your platform. And for the rest of you, thank you for watching this all the way to the very end. And I will see you next week in our regular scheduled programming, and also next Sunday for a live session. Take care now. Bye.